We should be back. Guys, let me know if you can hear me again. I think I just had to charge the mic or plug it into a charging source. But yeah, you can hear me now? You guys, we're all good? No problems. No problems hearing me? We're all good? Okay, great, perfect. Let me know again if there's an issue here. We're good. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining. We're gonna do a quick weekend update with everything. Just always realize that, and I didn't realize this before, but I'm on like a 20-second delay. So if anything, if I can't see one of your requests that you put in, just keep putting it in the chat, or keep bringing me back to something that you want me to talk about, because again, there is like a 15-20 second delay. So that's why I move pretty fast, because it's also just a quick update just to go over everything. All right. Now, again, what I was talking about before, we're at our last level here of SPY. I was showing you guys that worst case scenario that we could go down all the way down here, which is a 20% drop. You could see in the past, every time we've come up to this channel line, we've dropped. But in a modern economy, after 2020, we do have a lot of retail traders that come in and bring this right back up again. So, yep, modern markets. So that's where we're at. Um, Now, on a local level, last few months or so, you can see that we are at a very last level of support here. Okay, we've been here in October, November, and now December for the S&P 500. Yeah, and if you guys want a better view, then you can look at this on YouTube. I just might be a little slower to see your comments on YouTube. I could see the comments on Instagram a little bit better. So yeah, I'm going to uh, go over oil a little bit. Um, but the first thing that is 24/7 is Bitcoin. So we'll take a look there real quick. Bitcoin is having an interesting time getting above this resistance that we see right here. We really took care of the support level down here. Then we went through this 50 moving average and then came back. If we stay above this blue squiggly line, this 50 moving average, we'll have a much easier time getting above this 73,000 level on the way up. So that would be, ideal for Bitcoin to go back up. And it's interesting to see Bitcoin now starting to rally a little bit more while the entire market is now dropping. People thinking this as the new safe haven, because everything else is dropping, you know, besides oil. So, but let's take a look at crude oil futures, just to see where we're at. And I've been going over this with you guys and my premium group a lot, because this is really the only thing that matters. Um, it really is. So we have crude oil now up to this resistance level. And if you look back a little bit, you are going to see that in 2022 we were at this level, but it doesn't stay there very long. It will come down. And there seems to be now a little bit more of an international effort to open the Strait of Hormuz to get oil flowing. But yeah, there's no way that oil stays above $100 or 120 a barrel for months at a time. Um, the economy actually can't operate if oil is above 93. So 93 is right over here somewhere, about right here. So my bet for oil to drop 30%, I'm doing that with USO, and that will make things a little bit easier. So, and just to show you guys, 30% is not that far off on this chart. This is the 2018 resistance, this blue line. But if we go down 30%, that's back down to before the war started. So it would be like back down to 86, or from where USO is right here. So let's play around with that. I just want to show you how much money that you could make with something like this. So we can type in USO. Let's say we bet against it and we buy a put, and we do it for October. We have so much time until October. And now we go all the way down to negative 30%. Okay. Now let's pick a better strike. We'll do the $100, or let's do a $90 strike. That's only $647, right? It's you, and you're betting oil down that it'll happen between Monday and October 16th. Any day you can take this out, just like you can take shares out. So when we get down to 80, you'll see something interesting, or about 30%. If we get a 30% drop, $647 for this contract, you'll profit $1,000. So pure profit, $1,080 if oil goes down 30%. If oil drops 20%, you'll make about $600 in profit. So you'll make 100%. If oil drops 15%, you'll make $400 in profit. So really, no matter what, if oil drops, you'll make a really large percentage. So if it drops 20%, you'll make about 100%. And if it drops 30%, you'll make 165%. And you just need oil to be down from now, anytime between now and October of 2026. So to me, that sounds the most logical. It sounds, to be the most high probability of all trades, because at some point this will drop. I know a lot of you want to look at gold and silver, so we'll take a look at that. This was the biggest drop gold had in the last, um, I think it was the last 4 years. It dropped 11% in 1 week. So the next level for gold is going to be this level here at 4,400. Okay. Now, if we get there, I still think we'll rebound back up to the 5,000 area, which is right here, pretty easily. Remember, a lot of the analysts said that we're going to get to at least 6,300 this year at some point. So I think this is a bit of an overreaction. Um, and this is just panic. I showed you the greed and fear index, which is at 15 right now. So people are just getting rid of everything. But I still think that gold is going to probably bounce off this level and it's going to go right back up again. So um, I don't see it just crashing through all of these levels here. This 4,300 level is a pretty big level for gold. It goes all the way back to here. So we have maybe a little bit more downside, but then I see gold definitely coming back up to that 5,000 region. Also, if there's anything that you guys want to see, let me know. Um, you know, I'm here to help you guys. So whatever you guys want to see, I'll definitely uh, I'll definitely look at it. Just remember, I'm on like a 15 to 20-second delay. This is silver. Okay. Now, silver has a really good support level, which is right here around 65. There's no way you could tell me silver's going to go to like 30 or 40 and just die. That would be too insane. So I have a feeling that we're going to bounce off that 65 level right here for silver, and then we're going to play it back up again. Let's say silver gets to about 80, okay? And let's give ourselves 4 months for it to happen. How much money could we make? Well, that's a good question. Let's figure it out. Okay. If we do silver, SLV, and we do, let's say, a July call, and we go out to 80, that would be $340 for one call. And if we get all the way up to, let me go to SLV so I can figure out a good take profit level. If we get all the way back up to about 77, we would make 188%. Or we would $340 would be 526 of pure profit. So you would make 526 in pure profit off of the 340 that it costs just for one option call. So very straightforward. Really not that complicated. You buy one for 340, and if it goes up to 77, which it's done so many times this year, very ranging, very rangy type of silver in 2026, bounces back up. Sometime between now and July, you'll definitely make over $400 or $500 profit. So that's what I think silver is at, or what we could do with silver right now. Yes, Dell and MU for sure. I don't follow Dell that much, to be honest with you, but I will chart it out. I haven't charted Dell in a little while. Oh, this is interesting, right? We have Dell, and we're in a resistance level right here on the weekly. You could see this is a power of 3 pretty clearly. Power of 3. Sorry, power of 3. And what is a power of 3? That's the third time back up to resistance. Here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3. The third time back up to resistance moves very fast. So it's a really good indication that we're going to hit this target, and we did. So from here, where do we go? At least we have lower highs coming off this 200 moving average. We have a lot of big institutional buying coming up here, so that's good. So, now are we going to go right through it? I don't know. I don't usually like to play, like if I have shares at, let's say, down here, and we get to power of 3 resistance, I will sell half of them at this point because we'll either go right through it or we're going to go right, down back to 130. So it's really either or. Um, so it depends on your plan with it. I could look at a daily real quick and yeah. So I'm not sure when you bought this, but we do have a lot of recent buying with Dell. So there is a pretty good possibility that this does end up moving higher. But again, we don't know because we're back at resistance here. Micron, let's see. If you guys want anything else, just let me know, and I will definitely put it. I will definitely chart it out for you at least, and let you know what I think. Um, let's see. Micron is in this again. This is a power of 3, 2, 1, 2. Here's 3. I think we had really good earnings on Micron. A couple days ago. We're staying above the 20 moving average. So I think, Micron, SanDisk, WDC, everything that any company that makes RAM, I think is going to do really well and is going to continue because people need, these companies need to buy a lot of RAM regardless. You can see how much unusual buying there's been. It's just incredible to watch. So this should continue. This should definitely continue higher. And so if there's anything else that you guys want me to look at, one thing I thought was interesting was corn. And even yesterday, we dropped and came right back up again. So every few days now, we're going a lot higher. And how do you play corn in the stock market? That sounds insane. That sounds like something that most people can never do. But really, It's super simple. It's CORN is the ticker for corn. And with so many um, businesses relying on corn or a corn feed for their livestock, um, it's having a hard time traveling around with the oil being around $100 a barrel. We just went over that. So you could see corn is usually on this chart in the 20s. You could see how low recently it's gone in the last few years. We've dropped in price a lot. So now corn is down here. This is a really big support zone down here. And now we've finally broken out of it with the price of oil being really high. And now we could see corn skyrocketing. Look at this volume. This green volume just took off, and now we have a lot of options volume coming into corn. So again, I think this is a very easy options play. I told this to my group all last week, but you could do May or August, whatever your risk level is. But let's say you do May and you do a $21 call. That's 500 volume that came in today for something like corn. On the 20 strike, we had 4,000, 4,600 that came in, right? So let's say that costs $90 to buy one of these. If corn goes up to 22, you would make $192 pure profit, just from putting down that 90. So you get your original 90 back plus an additional 190. So almost $200 of pure profit just from this one contract. And you could buy as many of these as you want. So I don't really see the downside of this play. As oil continues to be rocky, corn is going to continue to skyrocket. And again, corn is just as easy as buying Apple. There's really no difference. There's a ticker called corn, CORN. That's the ticker. If you could buy shares of Apple, you could buy shares of corn. So it's really not that complicated. Also, buying option contracts is not that complicated. It's really just a button you have to press. It's really nothing more than that. I think people just get turned off by the words of that they don't understand maybe. But if you can buy shares, you can buy an option contract. There's really not a whole lot of difference. You're just betting on the time element because at some point the trade won't exist past a certain time. That's it. Um, so we went over gold, silver, went over oil, went over Micron, went over Dell, went over the overall markets. Is there anything else that you guys want me to take a look at or no? No other things that you guys want to see? We could take a look at Apple. Oops, did Apple wrong. Sorry. Apple is at its last level right here. And you can see that we are at also its last support level right at the 200 moving average above all of these big institutional buying levels. That's what these green rectangles are. And we can shoot up pretty much, um, you know, back up to these moving averages. I did a straddle on this. I bought a call and a put, a straddle at the same time. So I'm going to win regardless on Monday. I'm just going to drop the other side wherever it is. Um, Photonics. Yeah, some of the words people don't like. Call options on gold, please. Hey, what's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Yeah, some of you are starting to come to these like all the time, which is cool. So whatever you guys want me to look at, I'll definitely look at. Yeah, we just went over SPY. I'll go over it again. Somebody asked for gold options. We could do some gold options, sure. So if we look at gold here, we just went through this, right? So this is GLD, right? But to make it easier on the eyes, let's go to gold spot price. If we look at gold spot price, you're going to see that price is probably going to come back down to this 4,300 level and then try to come back up to this 5,000 level or this 50 moving average on the way up. So you might have a couple more days to buy some calls on on gold. But let's say you were to buy some gold options, right? Let's look for some. Now, I'm not logged into my TraderDaddy Pro account because that would tell me automatically the best one to trade, but I'm pretty fast doing it this way too. We could do a 480 call for gold for May 15th. Is that right? Yeah, it's not that much money right now for a May call. And if gold gets up to, let's say, you know what? Let's say gold goes up 10% or 7%. We would make about $600, so almost 200%. So those 480s for the May 15s do look pretty good for gold. Could definitely make about $600 in profit. Even if some time ticked away, you would still make about $400 of profit. So that would still be good. All right, let's take a look at SPY again. I know some of you are just coming in here, but we did go through all of this multiple times, but I'll do this a couple more times. So we're at our third level of support here for SPY. And at this point, this is our last level. So if we break this, then it's going to be no bueno all around. Just a no bueno situation because I'm going to show you again, if you look at the long-term charts here, this is sort of where we are in terms of the market now turning on us. If we come down halfway and bounce off, that could be 613 on SPY. We could get down to here, which is 558. I would love if the market came all the way down here because playing it back up, we could just win on everything. That's what last April to last October was like. It was one of the easiest times to trade ever. Playing the market last year in my group, we were just winning every single week because every stock was breaking out. The problem is now it's hard to buy any stock because the market's going sideways and down all the time. But at least it's moving. The last, you know, several weeks we haven't really been doing anything. All right, we'll take a look at Google and Tesla. Anything else, guys, put it in now. All right. So on Google, I drew this line, right? And this is called a measured extension move line. We are going through the tops of these tops right here, all the way up, and then you extend the line. So during this hyperbolic movement last year, in August and September for Google, we went right through that line. What's interesting is on Bitcoin, the same line exists and it's never gotten above it. But for Google, we did get above it. This is during the time that Nancy Pelosi bought it and Warren Buffett. That was his last big trade, was Google. So a lot of people tailed those trades and pushed it all the way up. But you can see these white candles right here. It's really hard probably to see on your screens. On YouTube, it would be easier for you to take a look. But whenever you get white weekly candles, we're always going to, those are just way overbought. So now we came back. What's interesting is we came back to the blue line here, and now we have a chance to break out higher, you know, off this object going up, as a bull flag to go higher. So, it's at a pretty good range right now, pretty good support level on its own. So, what you could do is you could buy Google and put a stop loss right under it at 291 because then your risk reward would be huge. So, Google, Tesla, and silver again. I should just go over silver. It'd be like the fourth time going over silver in one live stream. I should just do silver on repeat at this point. I could just do one live stream where I go over silver like every 3 minutes. Um, but at least we'll know the silver charts pretty well. Silver's by far, I think, the most requested thing out of anything now. Tesla is now breaking support. What's interesting is that Tesla broke this triangle you could see right here, and we're coming back down. This is actually where Elon bought Tesla last year, or last September at least. So if you remember, when Tesla broke out of this area right here and we went up, Elon bought some at this area. So caused it to go much higher into this range. But now Tesla is really falling. So if we go all the way back to this level, 352, I think we're going to bounce off of that and come back up. Tesla makes all-time highs like at least once or twice a year. So buying Tesla when it's down is probably one of the most easy things anyone can do because it gets popular real fast with retail traders, and the regular Tesla shareholder will always keep it. There's no big sell off. They never sell their stock. Um, all right, we could go over silver again. So again, I think this is a great support level for silver right here. You have, sorry, let me just adjust something. Yeah. So we have silver coming down to this area right here, this support area. And I'm looking to play this back up again. And so if we get back up into the 80s, that's going to be easy 100 to 200%. Um, so just to show you what I'm looking for, it's going to look something like this. We went down, okay? And then we might go around here, and then we go back up again. Something like that, right? That's what I'm looking for. Now, if we do that, we get back up into the 80s again. That would be about 20%. So let's say we do a silver play, an options play. This is nothing too hard. We're just trying to figure out how much money to make. So if I do a May $80 call, that's only $150. That's not bad at all. And now let's say we go up 10%, not even 20. We'll make $155 profit. Profit, pure profit. Okay? And then if we go up to 20%, we would make 377 profit. Okay? TTD, the trade desk. Financials have been getting killed, and every time it looks like it's at a support, it keeps breaking and going down. But now it does look like this whole area is a pretty big support area. You could see how far down it's really gone. All of the financials have gone down a lot. And if you were to measure it, this would be it's down 85%. So, its market cap is only 11 billion now. It used to be much higher than that. So, you know, I would love for this to get above the 20 moving average at 34, but let's see. What can I do with this? I mean, we have a whole lot of red sell pressure right above it. If we get above 29 or 30 and we stay there, then I would be a lot more interested in TTD. So that's the level I'd be looking at. BBAI. Yeah, we're breaking support here. The remainder now, BBAI is not for the weak, right? This is a very high volatility stock. If you look back, this is what BBAI does. It's like riding a roller coaster. So, you know, at this point, I only have about 300 shares left. So I'm probably looking to buy more if it gets down to about 240 or so. Somewhere in this range, maybe like 240 to 3, I would buy more shares. And then I would just hold it for a while. A lot of these smaller AI stocks are getting killed right now. But when the market turns around, give this time, this will get back up to $8 at some point. It's just, if you look at it, it's just a very, very volatile stock, you know? So if your risk level is not there, then I get it. Um, SMR. Also, if you don't know who I am, my name's Daniel. I've been a financial advisor since 2012. I own Trader Daddy New York, #1 trading academy in New York City for about 10 plus years now. So I'm speaking April 2nd in New York City. Anyone who wants to come, it's free. It's always will be free. I'm also speaking in South Florida, the 7th and the 9th of May. So, and you guys can always ask me questions. I'll always answer you. So if you have any questions about anything, you can always message me. I also have, um, would it be smart to wait for Lily to drop before buying shares? I'll get to that right after Netflix. But yeah, my group also, I give you guys my cell phone number so that you can ask me questions all throughout the day. My entire job at this point is just to help people all throughout the day whenever they want. So it's basically what I do all day, even on the weekends. So SMR, I like where it is right now. I like that it's an energy type of manufacturing company for or electrical parts producer. I know that they're a power company, but this is a really good area to buy because we are at a really common natural support level down here at 11. It doesn't have much momentum. I would love this a lot more if it was at 12.50. So about another dollar or so, if it can go up another point up here, we'd be more than good. But yeah, every night I do about almost 90 minutes, 7:30 to 9 o'clock with my group. And if you miss it, I have it recorded and I send the notes to you afterwards. I'm usually on in the morning. I have beginner groups at 1 o'clock. I have office hours throughout the day. So you can always reach me. I really think I have really the most value than any other trading group would even possibly have. Netflix I like too at this area. I think anything under if you're a long-term, you know, any I drew this line for a reason though. The only reason I'm hesitant is because the momentum is now going down and we now have red volume. It's hard to see, but it's right there. We just turned from green to red. So I would let this drop a little bit more to the 50 moving average at 87. I think anywhere from 82 to 87 would be a good buy for Netflix, or if I got above this trend line bull flag cut, this Trader Daddy triangle that we see right here, we could that would also be a good time to buy. Like if it pushes up to 95, you could buy also at that point too. But right now, I just don't see the difference of why right here. You know, on a daily time frame, we're below the 20 moving average, so you know we are above this huge block of institutional buying, so that gives us some support. And under that, we had this huge blocks of buying too. That's why Netflix at this area was such a good deal. I mean, at 70 something, all it had to do was just survive that Paramount and Warner Brothers deal, and it actually came out the winner because it didn't get the deal. Would have put it in debt for the next 10 months. Now they can focus on their, I think, $2 or $3 billion facility in the Jersey Shore area. Um, would it be smart for Lily to drop? Uh, I like Lily a lot because the government backs it. Anything the government backs is going to be great. Um, yeah, and you guys are welcome. I mean, I do this for you guys, so oh, come here, Lizzie. You want to be on stream? No? Yeah. I have a little dog. Yeah. No, you're too scared. Okay. So at this point, we Yeah, I mean, we're at the 200 moving average for Lily. Let me go back out a little bit. I would like Lily if it got actually to this level here. This is going to be a more common level for it at this 50 moving average with this trend line extension. Somewhere around 877, I would start to buy more, but I would do it slowly. All buying you should do right now is just slow dollar cost averaging at this point, but you should be buying. Again, anything under 15 on the fear and greed index, you should be buying. And last year we got to 2, and that 2 was, during April when everything was really down. Lily's done really well the last year too. Well, we played this as a group from when it went down to 620 something. We played it up real quick. Same thing for um, Lily and UNH. We played up real quick. Lily worked out a lot better though. We played LLYX, which is the double leverage version of Lily. LLYX. So if you want a double leveraged version of Lily, but I would wait for this to start dropping because it's double leveraged. Do you have a buy list and sell list for stock cycles, group trades for weekly, monthly trades? I think with someone like you, we can get great returns. Yeah, I mean, I have a group. You know, I have a group where I have all of that. Um, this is what it looks like. So I have my main chat. There's 100 people in it. We talk about this. I live in this all day. I have my daily Zoom watch list that gets also emailed to you guys. I have my Zooms all throughout the day, and you can just choose which ones you want to go to. It's always me. Last week I had morning updates. I had a beginners group. Every night I'm on between 7:30 and 9. I have office hours that you guys can come to. Um, I have weekly watch lists, daily watch lists, and I always have it recorded with notes. So I always have everything recorded, and the notes are always emailed to you after each of these meetings. So if you miss one, and they have clips in each one of the Zooms, so you can just click on what clip you would like to look at. Um, I have another instructor, Adam. He just does world events a few times a day and what positions that would help. Irina is our beginners instructor. So no extra cost. You get one-on-ones with her to help you set up and anything that you're trying to do. She's a full-time trader as well, or majority, her time is full-time trading. So she helps the beginners in setting up everything. I have a small essentials course that goes over everything that you would need to know. I have a content drive of, a lot of things that would be helpful. I have a dictionary. I have my entries list, all the resources I use and how I use them. I have homework, which is basically everybody's top play of the week. So you can always see everybody's top play of the week, and you get my feedback too. So you get my feedback on all of the ones that people have their ideas of the week every single week. So um, that's if that would probably be one of the top things that I would look at if I was a member of this group. And if there's something you want in this group that I'm not doing, besides being on Zoom, 3 times a day for you guys or something else, or not, whatever it is, if there's something you guys want or need, you can request it here, and then it becomes a 48-hour priority. So I will then make it a priority to make sure that whatever you requested is then put into the group. So if you wish that there was more forex trading or futures trading, or we concentrated on better entries, or we have a certain list for something, then it's done. You'll get it. So um, I put all of the Zoom recordings in here. Um, and yeah, so And again, you get my cell phone number for all, for you can reach out to me personally all day, if you want. So, um, this is the main career that I've had since 2012 is doing this. And but the group has only been about 16 months old. I used to just do mentoring, because I couldn't really advertise myself. Working as a financial advisor, you can't have outside investment groups, so I had to kind of keep it on the down low. But now, since I don't do that anymore, I could now really get into it. I was so tired of seeing these 22-year-olds saying they had 2 years of experience and they would sell people some sort of product. It was so weird to see it, that just because they knew how to work TradingView, that now they were going to sell their services. And I'm like, if you've never worked in finance, like why would you be on Instagram selling anything financially related? It just made no sense to me at all, you know? It, I couldn't believe people in their 20s were just like, yeah, I've never worked in finance, but I'm going to sell things. Um, the app is called yeah, the app is called WAP. And so I don't like Discord. I think Discord has been way overplayed. You don't know who anyone is. It's scam central on Discord. That's why I went over to WAP. People always impersonating me and whatever. But yeah, it made no sense. Like I haven't found any other financial advisors. It's just like people one day will just call themselves a financial professional and just start selling services. And I'm like, why? Like what made you think that you could do that? Um, but I don't know. I just feel more bad for the actual people. Um, because most people come to my group after being in another group and then they never leave because there's really, at that point, you have everything that you would ever want. And we win a lot. We win a lot more than I actually thought we would win. Oh, what's up, Carson? Um, all right. What are we doing? LNG in LAM. But you guys can DM me, and I always like to meet the people that are joining my group beforehand. I just don't send you like a link and say good luck. I actually check in. Um, all right. This is a breakout, and I think this is going to keep going because we need more natural gas. So I do think we're going to definitely I do think this is going to keep going. This was a big breakout. Natural gas is one of those things that we definitely need. That's in the Middle East. So yeah, I definitely understand why this would be a good trade. I would definitely follow LNG here. And then what is this? L what? No, sorry, I can't see. UN or LIN? LIN? Is this it? Chemicals? Maybe. I don't know much about this stock, to be honest. Again, it's just one of those things I would wait for it to just kind of move down to the bottom right and then wait for a breakthrough. Um, but other than that, I don't know much about this stock. Anything else that you guys want to go over while I'm here? Or is that about it? I still think that corn is also going to be one of the bigger ones. That's going to explode. This is an easy trade. Also, Meta is at support right now. So this is another one that can also move. Anyone on YouTube have any questions? No? Okay. Just on Instagram, any more questions? All right. If you guys want to DM me, I'll answer all your questions about anything at any time. For I like to talk to my followers. I like to talk to people about finance. It's the only thing I've ever done since I graduated college. I'm 36 now, so it's been my whole career. Um, so all throughout the day, this is all I do. I don't do anything else but just help people and trade. So if you guys need any help, anything, reach out to me. And I'd love to meet on Zoom, go over 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever you want to go through. And consider joining the premium group. I think we're like one of the fastest growing groups now. Um, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Also, my halftime show is always going to be at noon during the week. It's a quick halftime show. We go through everything rather fast. Um, and we go through um, everything that you missed that morning. Okay. And then if you if you live in the New York area, I'll be speaking at April 2nd for about 3 hours at night, 2 to 3 hours. I have meetups there. It's free. You could just show up, free admission. I don't charge for any in-person stuff. If you want to come to Florida, same deal. I speak on the 7th at Options the Options International Conference, largest options conference in the country in South Florida, Palm Beach. I'll be there on the 7th. Then I'm having another Trader Daddy meetup on the 9th in Fort Lauderdale. So if you want to be there, you can definitely come to, if you're in the South Florida area, you could see me there. So New York or Florida, I have pretty good communities where I don't charge anything. You can just show up. Um, and that's about it. Hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys later. All right, take care. Bye bye.